Hey, good afternoon, folks. Thanks so much for joining us here on Wave Now. I'm Myra Ansari with one of our newest Wave family members, Jose Zozaya. Jose, we are so happy to have you. As many folks know, John is retiring after several years with us here at Wave. His last day is tomorrow. So Jose has joined our team. He's going to be anchoring Wave News at 11 for us. Some folks, you may have already seen him on air. He's been reporting the last couple of weeks. This is our opportunity for you, your opportunity to get to know Jose a little bit. So, Jose, tell us about yourself.
Hi, Myra. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
It's been such an education just within this first month of being part of the Wave family. I guess if you knew a little bit about me, I kind of describe myself as a student in the sense that I love to learn so many different things. And you can imagine with the work we do day in and day out, we're learning new information, and then in meeting new people, we're discovering like how they're all connected to the issues that matter, the stories around us. And so saying like, maybe in school, I wasn't the kind of reader that like, okay, with the exception of Harry Potter books, but back then, if you grew up in that time, you were devouring those Harry Potter books. But it was sort of like discovering what I was interested in as you get older and then being like, okay, then I'm going to go discover libraries, YouTube, go on the internet and go consume all this information. And I think part of that is sort of discovering like, oh, that's really cool. And then being able to tell stories. My path, by the way, to getting to where I am today, one of my professors, as I was going through school, he said, "You're the most unorthodox student
Where'd you go to school?
I've ever met." University of Florida. I know I'm in Wildcat country and Cardinal country.
Cardinal and Wildcat and Hilltopper and yeah.
So I care about SEC basketball. It's just like saying if Kentucky does well and it makes for a great SEC tournament, that's okay. You're a basketball fan. He called me the most unorthodox student he'd ever met up until that point, just because I thought back, let's say 10 years ago, if you grew up with maybe my parents and sort of an appreciation for print, for newspapers, I thought I was going to go that route of like, let me have at a column, become one of these like stalwarts, old, revered, respected writers. I'm so glad I said yes to all the opportunities when I was at school. People offered me to say like, hey, do you want to try joining our radio show? What is radio going to sound like? And so I learned what it takes to produce a radio newscast and broadcast. From there, okay, here's all the software for back then, what was the most current thing on our computers for video editing. Would you like to learn this? I'm not going to say no to that. All that led me to the point where like it was not ever assigned in a class I ever took. Would you like to learn how to use a camera? Go grab a camera, go get in front of it, go learn how to use the microphones. And through that, just learn how to visually start telling your stories. And I guess, that has all led up to the point of, I guess, thankfully being here at Wave, saying yes to those experiences and saying like, you know what, I think this is something worth trying and pursuing. And I guess I'm here to say whatever opportunities are in front. Obviously, now being part of the team here, I'm glad I said yes to that as well.
We are glad that you're here. You mentioned that you went to a college in Florida. Tell us a little bit about where you're from, where your family's at, and now your connections here to Louisville.
Absolutely. So I always joke. I tell people whenever they ask me this question, because time is precious. We all go about our busy days. Would you like the long version or the short version? And I generally
give us the best version.
There's a best version. Okay. So my childhood experience is that of an immigrant coming to this country, but I'm not an immigrant technically. And let me explain. It's because my parents, they met, they got married. My dad went to pursue his graduate degree in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And so that's his experience there. I'm born in Pittsburgh. And so again, weird allegiances where it's like what team you're supposed to be rooting for. Don't worry, living here in Louisville, I can adopt some teams. It's fine. But so that was being a baby, not remembering growing up there, but both my parents being immigrants from Venezuela.
Okay.
And the job opportunity was, okay, you have your graduate degree from my dad, come back and go work for this firm and build up your experience and work your way up the ranks. And so he did. And that was my experience up until 9-10 years old. And so you think like, okay, those are pivotal moments in your childhood, and you're just, basically, speaking mostly language. I still speak Spanish, but that's like your day-to-day life. All of my family growing up there, like no one had really branched out to move. If you're familiar with, the political situation in Venezuela, a lot of that is, forced people to find better quality of life elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, I think, saw some of that and said, you know what, maybe I can find an opportunity back in Florida, because he'd gone to school there as well. And so that was the risk, the gamble he took. I'm going to bring my wife and my 3 sons. I had my 2 little brothers back then. And so we all move. And so that's the start of my experience in like, okay, now I'm starting my life as an older child living in America.
Mm-hmm.
That comes with its, sets of hurdles and saying like, okay, can I connect with kids? Do I learn, how school works
Mm-hmm.
and how to connect and talk to people? I will say from that point, if you've been blessed in life with teachers who care a lot about you,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll sort of mold you and say like, I think you'd really love this material and go for that. And so I give credit to like all my favorite teachers that sort of, pushed me on that path maybe to do this work. And all that to say, I stayed in Florida for my college experience. In this job, we're looking for opportunities maybe to grow elsewhere. And so the path is find my first job in Georgia. The next best path goes to Omaha, Nebraska, 2 places I'd never been to before. Tucson, Arizona was my last stop. And again, also brand new environment, landscape, sort of all the cultural history that goes with that. Now I'm here in Louisville. And this is the place where, at least at this point in my life up to now, there's going to be family and stability and that core sort of support to draw from, because my wife, born and raised here.
Okay.
And so now this is a homecoming for her. And in a sense, building now as the son-in-law, I get to spend time with my parents-in-law, my brothers-in-law. I get to have that time to grow being uncle. And again, it's learning so much of the place that turned her into the amazing person she is.
Yeah.
I think I'm so looking forward to seeing it through her eyes and learning all of that way. And so that's what drew me back.
I'm sure that your wife is showing you all the ins and outs of Louisville and showing you where the places to go. I will say Louisville, I moved here in 2007 and I came here for work thinking, okay, Louisville is going to be a stop in my career. I had like a 2-year contract. And the next thing you know, 18 years later for me, 18 years, Louisville's really one of those communities that pulls you in and you end up falling in love with it. You set up roots here. I've now been in Louisville longer than I have been my hometown that I grew up in. So that says a lot, I think, about this community and the love Louisville has for people. So we are so excited that you are here. So you're going to see Jose reporting for us as well. You're going to be doing a little reporting. You're going to be anchoring Monday through Friday, the 11 o'clock newscast. How excited are you about that?
I'm excited. I get sort of this anxiety, but in the sense that, you just want to make sure you're doing the best job that you can do and, being the best team player, because Myra knows this, of course, for as much as we bring our individual talents to the table, everyone else's success matters to your success there. And sort of it's getting to know my team of producers and reporters much more, letting them know, hey, I'm really interested in these kinds of stories, making these connections. How can we use our talents to make the best piece of information for the audience to digest and understand? This does matter to me, and whether that's making change or just being better informed, that matters so much to me. It's funny coming into this and I say this because you have so many years with John at your side. It's hard to ever replicate that kind of comfort and experience and memories you do build with him. But I was writing a little something, and I hope he's not watching, because we're leaving some gifts for him. But to say this whole past week, if there's no greater testament to what John has built with you all, in that all the amazingly beautiful words and moments and memories you've shared about him. I see John in the very brief time I've been able to talk to him. It's like saying, I know he cares. I know he cares. And if that's not, that's a legacy and a standard that you want to keep moving forward. Obviously, it's a new generation. We'll meet our challenges with technology and all the other things that come head on. But to say, like, I know John cared and took the time and was deliberate and is a team player, and I want to emulate that as much as I can. By the way, too, for nights, I'm still getting adjusted to the sleep schedule, because it's been the past 3 years where like I'm trying to go to bed at 7 o'clock and waking up at 1:30 in the morning for that shift.
Yeah.
So it's just like
You've done a whole 360.
I gotta get home. I gotta decompress. Like, I'm trying not to sleep too late, because then when you wake up and you're saying like, oh, what? It's 10:30 in the morning.
And your wife works the early morning shift, right? So you're
Yes, she
kind of like
does.
2 ships passing in the night,
Mhm.
right?
I try to do my best to say like I know when more or less she's waking up, and saying like at the very least for my own mental, comfort, let's say, she's okay. She woke up. She's
Yeah.
going up to the kitchen. She's gonna go get ready, and I'm just signing off and saying, "Night, honey.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed. I'm gonna
Yep.
pass out, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Tomorrow afternoon, actually."
So you're going to see Jose anchoring the 11 again. Anything, Jose, that I didn't ask you? I put Jose's bio in this stream, so click on it, check him out, get familiar with him. We're really excited to have him join our team. And, here at Wave, we are really like family. And that's the one thing I will say, Jose. A lot of people who have been at Wave, they will say what they love about it is the team, the people here. When you walk into our newsroom, we are like family and friends. We cut up, we laugh, we joke. We're there for each other in good times and in really bad times. We kind of know what's going on in each other's personal lives because we are so close to one another. So welcome. We are happy to have you here. We look forward to the great work that you're going to do for us.
Thank you, Mara. I'm thrilled. I'm so eager to, step into this work and be part of the team, part of the family. If the hope is Louisville, I think so far you've shown me you're a pretty special place, but time, of course, will tell, as you would tell me, and then to say, and then all the time I'm going to spend with you guys.
Yeah.
We spend so much of our waking hours together.
Yeah.
And to say, building, great teamwork, camaraderie, memories, being there for each other when there's the highs, when there's the lows, but being there for each other, and of course being there for the folks who tune in and trust us.
Yeah.
That's something we hold very dear, and it's called maybe a sacred sort of thing, right?
Absolutely. You welcome us into your homes, in your phone, on your phones, on your tablets, everywhere. So we're grateful for that opportunity. We're grateful whenever you allow us in, so we can tell you what's going on in our community. What I always tell people is like, I want you to know what I would want my family to know, right? Like that's important to me. If this could impact my family, it could impact your family. So those are things that we are trying to do every day here at Wave. Jose, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome again. And you're going to start actually anchoring consistently tomorrow night at 11, right?
I was told this as a surprise because I think, does John know when
he does? Because he mentioned to me, because tomorrow at 6 p.m. will be his last newscast. So he came in today. He's like, tonight's my last 11 o'clock newscast. We've been doing like the final countdown sort of thing. Yeah. This whole week with him. So we were like, it's your last Thursday.
But I told John, like, don't you want to hang out and be like, don't you want this to be your final 11? But I think if the perfect bow tie send off is at 6 o'clock, there's no need for him to be like, it's finished perfectly.
Yeah.
This could be a strange feeling. It's like, I guess the time has begun.
Yeah.
This is a new era.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're going to start tomorrow consistently, tomorrow night, Friday at 11. So that's when you can see Jose reporting and anchoring here for us. But we are very thrilled to have him. Jose, thank you.
Thank you, Myra.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
I'll see you on Wave News at 3.